It's a little slower getting started. I believe we're live now. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
A big welcome. Be here. Rodolfo and I are happy that you guys have joined us. And we are doing our bariatric support group tonight. We want to welcome each and every one of you that are here. And we have some wonderful, wonderful things to share with you guys tonight. So let us know. We have so many comments here in the chat box, which we're going to be kind of going through here in just a moment. What I just want to kind of do is just like a little tiny little brief introduction. And I just want to say, tonight's topic is called Overcoming Challenges and Change. And so I feel that this is a great topic because we're kind of moving right into 2023. And a lot of times, as we move into a new year, as we kind of talked about on our live this last week, actually Wednesday, we had Jill Cruz come in and talk about choices, and this fits right in with this. But when we start a new year, I feel like we kind of start thinking about intentions, like where our intentions are, and start kind of maybe getting a little bit more intentional. And sometimes what happens is a lot of things come up. Like, do we feel stuck? Do you feel stuck where you are? Do you want to move forward? In this class, Rodolfo is going to help share some new perspectives to help face any kind of challenges maybe that you're dealing with, help give you some different types of tips to deal with, like if you're feeling frustrated as you're trying to move through those things, maybe help to move through change more easily and help you be more resilient. Sometimes whenever we start down that path, it may feel easy for a day or two, and then we start feeling that bumpiness of the road. What we're going to be talking about is why do we resist change sometimes maybe, and the stages of change process: shock, denial, frustration, letting go, integration, and some tips and tools to deal with change. And if you guys haven't met Rodolfo yet, I'm going to allow him to do a full introduction. But I just want to say he's so wonderful. I just keep having him back, and I'm so grateful for him being a part of our programs. Rodolfo and I have now, this is probably our, I'm going to say, seventh or eighth, I don't know, I'm kind of losing track, different event that we've done together. He's a certified wellness coach that works not only with individuals, he works with facilities, he works with all clients throughout not just the US, but outside the US as well. And he's just got this charismatic smile, as you can tell just by looking at him here. And he's been just a wonderful addition to the ProCare Health team as far as helping us with helping you guys as well. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Brenda. I've been doing these live events now. We've been doing them now for a couple years, and I'm a bariatric nurse. I'm also a patient as well. I had a VSG surgery back in 2010. Before I worked for ProCare, I worked for Bariatric Surgery Clinic and helped pre-op surgery patients, post-op, helped with a lot with education and things like that. Also have a life certification, like a holistic background, and life coaching certification. So just kind of bring a lot of that in as we're talking. And with that, I'm going to just kind of turn it over to Rodolfo here, because I want you to kind of just jump right in with our topic. And also, Rodolfo, after you do your brief introduction, before you jump in to the full content, I want to also say hi to some of these people too. Okay, so go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we're going to just say a big hello to all these people in this comment section that are just blowing things up.
Excellent. So I will introduce myself. My name is Rodolfo Alvarez. I'm a wellness coach. I'm from Chile, and I'm currently living in Miami, Florida. I moved 6 months ago. And since the year 2015, I've been supporting individuals in the creation of healthy eating habits. My country has and had critical overweight rates, and I felt that the solutions that were offered were not enough. They focused mainly on the diet. And to me, there's a very, very important component related to the mindset, to learning to manage emotions. So I designed a set of programs that tackled the relationship with food and helped people to create a healthy relationship with food, supporting them understanding why they were eating and the emotions that the role that emotions played in the relationship that they had with food. With time, my programs and the topics of the program were expanding. I designed sexual well-being programs, anxiety management programs, mindfulness, and I started working with organizations in the pandemic. Why? Because there were high levels of anxiety and people were resisting change a lot and challenges. Okay. So, what I would like to do today is share with you tools that will help you to face challenges and will help your brain to adapt to change. For us as humans, change might be hard, might be difficult. And it's great to have tools in those processes to be able to move forward and don't get stuck. Okay? For 1 year, I've been an expert in barination, and I've been supporting the bariatric community here in the US. So that's my introduction, Brenda. Did I miss something?
I don't know. I feel like there's always more, but we'll kind of get to it. They'll learn more about you as the time goes on. They'll learn lots more. So um, I think that's great. Yeah, we forgot to mention. So we invite to these support groups many different facilities throughout the United States. So we have people from all over the U.S., Canada, sometimes outside of that. We have people that come in. We also have a special connection to some communities. Some are Facebook communities. We also have a special connection to the Berry Nation crew. So if we have people from Berry Nation, Rodolfo and I both have groups inside of Berry Nation. It's a great community if you haven't heard of that. And also just our ProCare Health support. I mean, ProCare Health, and also Rodolfo's following. Rodolfo has a following as well. So we just want to welcome anybody that's here. And I want to kind of just go down. It looks like we have lots of people. It looks like Joan. Some of these names I'm going to try to pronounce. Please forgive me if I say some of these names incorrectly. Awilda, that's such a beautiful name. Laura, looks like Laura says 15 years post-op. I am incredibly, that's incredible. Coming back in, being part of these support groups at 15 years post-op. That's wonderful. I'm 10 years post-op, 15 years. That outdoes me there. That's great. Enid, she's here with us a lot. Love that. Deanna, Gail, welcome. Nancy's 19 years post-op. She does say she's gained some of her weight back and comorbidities with revenge. So we're going to be helping you. Stay with us, Nancy, because I always feel like there's hope. You're on this call for a reason. You're on this call. Stay with us. Please stay with us. Robin is here. Hello. Can't wait to meet everyone. Lynette says, can't wait. I need this 9 months post-op, and I feel like my Roux-en-Y bypass isn't working like it did at first. Need advice and encouragement. Well, we are here to encourage you. And I can tell you that regardless where you are, like no matter what, the surgery does part of it. And then there's this whole other piece that's just part of the journey. And so don't give up. That surgery is still part of your journey and it's still going to continue to help you. But there's some other pieces too that are involved that we can definitely help meet you there and help with that. Ryan, 2.5 months post-op sleep, 38 pounds down, and 63 cents pre-op diet. That's a wow. Robin says, congratulations, Ryan. Beverly says 5.5 years post-op, and I've got myself hooked on sugary foods. Yeah, we can talk a little bit about that too, can't we, Rodolfo?
totally. We could do a group
Somebody.
dedicated on that topic, actually.
Carrie says, same here with the sugar. It's the devil. It's made me sick. I can relate. It looks like Ryan says hello. Thank you. Amy says, mine is salt. I could eat Chex Mix all day. I can relate to both of those. I kind of have, cravings are one of those things. Dorothy says, hi, everyone. I'm doing the sleeve. I had to finish the beginning stuff. So she's in the beginning stages. That's great. Jerry says 16 years post-op, put some weight back on and trying to lose some. So welcome. Kim says, hi, I'm also beginning the first step. I will be having the sleeve done in roughly 2 months. We have Dorothy. What does everyone eat in the beginning before surgery? I have cut out bread, post-op, and other stuff. So I feel like before surgery, just making little minor changes. Before surgery, a lot of times there's not really, before surgery, I would talk to your dietitians because sometimes they can make recommendations, but a lot of times there's not necessarily a clear-cut pre-surgery diet unless you are required to do one by your bariatric program. Like most bariatric programs may have you do a week or 2 weeks pre-op diet, and usually that's a full liquid or clear liquid diet. But unless your program requires you to do some type of pre-surgical diet, a lot of times it's just starting to make lifestyle changes so that you can kind of feel and ease into everything else. So maybe just talk to your program. Almost a year post-op, Rihanna says. Ryan says, I eat chicken and rice and cauliflower. Dorothy says, I'm in the Mounjaro cause I'm type 2 diabetic. There's a lot of people who's been trying those new GLP-1 drugs, the medications that help with weight loss. So interesting. We're going to be doing some different programs. We're going to be having Katie Chapman come on here within the next month or two. And she's going to be talking not necessarily about that, but she's going to be talking about insulin resistance. And we're going to be bringing in a little bit of conversation about that. Amy says, I had the sleeve done on 8/31. I'm down 48 pounds, 61 pounds since I started the process. And Dorothy says, is the rice cauliflower good? Anybody else? I love it. I have you tried it, Rodolfo? I like rice cauliflower.
I love it. I like it.
Amanda said, is the required group for WellStar patients? So yes, to answer your question, I have two different groups for WellStar. If you're a WellStar patient, you are in the right place. We also have a private group for WellStar, which I'll put my email in the chat box here in a moment, and I can send you the private link for that. That's a separate group. But yes, WellStar does get the attendance for these. I send them about a week after these events. So if you're pre-op and you are doing this for attendance requirements for your insurance or for the facility side, know that your attendance will be going to the facility side in about a week. I do wait a week because I also want to catch all the replays. There's so many comments. Keep commenting. I'm just going to go through and just say hello to everybody else who's commenting. Thank you so much. Dorothy, thank you for saying you love your ProCare protein. I'm so happy. Robin says she's from Chicago. I'm just like paging down because there's so much. It looks like Elisa says she's 3 months post-op PSG. She's from Canada. Amy's from Pennsylvania. Jolene's 3 months post-op. Julie, she had surgery yesterday. Holy cow. And she's on this call. Wow. Teresa's preparing. Jolene's, oh my gosh, we're just going to keep commenting, keep putting it in the box. We're going to let Rodolfo start in, but keep commenting. We're reading these, you guys, as you're commenting. It's just going to be hard to keep going because otherwise we'll never get started. But we're going to keep going, keep reading, everybody. There is also another box on the side that has a little question mark in the little square, and it says question answer. If you have a specific question you want us to focus on, we can actually, if you put it in that box, we can actually timestamp it. So if you have to jump off the call and you want to jump back on later, you can actually go directly to your answer. Okay. So that's what that little box is for. And we're going to just start in. We're going to keep reading the comments. but we're going to just go ahead and let you start, Rodolfo. And somebody says
Excellent.
Rodolfo's the best.
Lori. Thanks, Lori, for being here tonight. So I will share my screen. Give me, please, 1 second. Okay, perfect. So let's begin with this class. I would like to confirm that the attendees are listening to me. So please, could you write by the chat if you are listening to me, if you can watch the presentation, please? Because I would like to check that. I don't want you to miss anything. Thanks, Kimberly. Thanks, Elisa. Excellent. Great. Okay, so let's begin with the class. I think that in our minds, we have an illusion, and it's the illusion that we are going to reach a state and then we will end with our journeys. And this could happen in our lives. Maybe I think that I'm going to find a new job and everything is going to be okay. Or this could happen in your bariatric journey too. You think that maybe you will get your surgery, lose weight, and then finish with the process. Maybe this could happen to you in your relationships. Maybe you would like to create a new romantic relationship and you think that you will find the person. So we live in this continue of a search of a state in which we finish things. And the first thing that I would like to say is that the only constant in life is change. The only constant in life is change. The universe is full of changes, and changes are constantly happen, okay? And the same would happen to our lives. I remember when the pandemic started and people in organizations were experiencing high levels of anxiety and they wanted to go back to the normal life. And the interesting thing is that they went back to normal life, but today they are struggling and they are facing other challenges, okay? So, what we need to embrace first is the fact that your journey, your life will have challenges, you will face change. And the mission here is to be able to overcome to overcome those challenges, to be able to go through them, and then to keep growing and making these processes efficient. Because what tends to happen? Sometimes we get stuck and we stop moving forward. And for example, maybe I had bariatric surgery, I lost weight, I reached the honeymoon phase, and then I got stuck. And maybe 6 months have happened, and I've been stuck, and I've been in a stall. And what I feel that is important is to be able to have the tools to keep moving forward, to keep advancing. Because then if you're stuck, probably what will happen is that will have an impact on your self-esteem, right? You will create limiting thoughts about yourself, such as I'm not capable, I'm not good enough, etc. And then you will get in that state because those thoughts will determine the actions that you take. And probably if you have those thoughts, you will not take action. Okay? So the beginning is to understand that we will never arrive, right? We will never arrive. We will face change and we will face challenges in life. Our purpose is to keep moving forward. And what I would like to learn from you actually is what are your current challenges right now, today? And maybe what are your challenges related to your bariatric journey, or maybe your challenges related to your life in general? If you can, please type your challenges in the chat box. I would love to hear from you and learn about you. Kerry is sharing, sugar craving. Thank you. Robin is sharing, can't get enough rest or exercise. Elisa is sharing, feeling hungry a lot. Okay. Kimberly, being sick, suffering from fibromyalgia, so it's hard to get moving. Jolene, sugar products. Teresa, lack of exercise. Okay, so Amy, boredom eating. Beverly, sugary foods and menopause. Amanda is sharing carbs. Okay, so all of you are facing challenges, right? All of you are facing challenges and different challenges. The question now is how to move forward. Carrie is sharing, also emotional eating. Deb, emotional eating. Brenda, that's like a hot topic. See? So, I would like to explain why challenges and change can be hard for us. Okay? So, we have our brain, and our brain is set up to protect us from the threats of the environment. Okay? And for us, what is new is a threat because we don't know it. I always give the example of a prehistoric human that was walking by nature, and this human sees an animal, a wild animal. So, in that case, that person will escape, will run away, and will protect him, her, themselves. Okay? Why? Because that is a self protection mechanism. When we face challenges and when we face change, for our brain, we are in front of something that is unknown. So the reaction will be similar. And actually, when you begin adding new habits, probably you will resist the process. If you are adding movement, for example, to your life, and you're in that stage after bariatric surgery and you decided to add movement, it's likely that at the beginning it will be hard. And actually, you will have to build neural paths inside of your brain, and that's a process that will make you experience pain. Or, for example, if you are taming emotional eating and you made the decision to manage your emotions, at the beginning you will have to experience those emotions that maybe are the emotions that for years you have been covering with food. And that process will be scary. I have one-on-one clients, and when I help them in that process, they feel that they are going to die because they are experiencing something that is so painful that they have never allowed themselves to experience. So we need to understand that there's going to be resistance. That's normal. Why? Because you are facing something that for your brain is unknown. So the process of facing challenges, of adapting to change, will make us get outside of our comfort zone. It will be uncomfortable. But what I can tell you is that if you keep moving every time, it will get easier. I like to be very upfront in my workshops and my classes because I think that we need to discuss the resistance that will be produced. And that's totally fine. It will be uncomfortable. But if you know that, then you know what you will face. There will be no surprises. And you will be able to start moving forward and connect with new resources. So, in my Instagram account, a while ago, I shared this slide, okay, which was a slide that shows expectations versus reality in terms of weight loss. So sometimes in our minds, we have a vision of our journeys. And we think that like they will be easy, or that we will accomplish a specific goal, and that we will go at a specific pace. And the reality is not that. As I told you, life will come up with challenges, with change, and maybe you are in a stall today, or maybe you are struggling with emotional eating, as some of you shared, or maybe you're struggling with movement, or you have cravings, right? If you are in any point of this journey, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Actually, if you feel that you are stuck, that's totally fine. My only request will be to keep moving forward, because that's the only thing that will allow you to open new possibilities and keep going. Now, I would like to explain what happens to our brain and what happens to us when we face change and challenges, and what are the processes that we experience. Okay? If you see, here we have a schematic, and in this schematic, there's a curve. And this curve are our energy levels when we face change. Okay? So I would like to explain first with a general example, and then I will go with an example related to the bariatric journey. Okay? So imagine that I go to the doctor, I'm getting some tests, and the doctor shares with me that I have a disease that is like a difficult, or like a disease that is hard. Okay? So probably in that moment, what will happen to me when I'm learning about my medical condition is that I will be in a state of shock. I will not know how to react in that particular moment. Okay? And probably after a while, I will start thinking, oh, no, 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 no. This doctor is wrong. He doesn't know. I will go to another medical center. So then we transitioned to the second stage, which is denial. Why we go to the denial phase? Because that allows us to increase our level of energy and keep functioning. Okay? So I will start telling myself, you know what, this can't be real, this can't be possible, the treatment is terrible, I'm not open or I'm not willing to experience this treatment. Okay? And after a while, maybe I will take in that I will have to go through the process. So it's likely that I will experience a huge frustration, huge. And I will experiencing emotions. And maybe I will experience anger, maybe I will be sad, maybe I will experience anxiety. And what it's likely is that after a while and after releasing those emotions, there's going to be a moment in which I'm going to be like, you know what? This is necessary. I need to take action. This is my life. I want to recover. The treatment is terrible, it's horrible, but I will go through the process because I want to feel better. And then I will start with the process. And I will start running tests, which is the next phase. So the phase of tests is associated to trying actions and then getting results with those actions. So maybe I go through the treatment, I'm able to recover, and then I'm healthy again. I integrated the change. Okay? If you notice, me in the example, I was facing a challenge, I was facing change. And every time that we go through challenges and change, we go through this curve and we experience all these stages. So, for example, let's say that I'm a bariatric patient. I'm 6 months post op and I'm finishing with my honeymoon phase. What does that mean? Maybe I weighed myself, and for several weeks, I noticed that I'm stuck. I haven't lost weight, so I'm in a stall. So maybe at the beginning, I will be like, why this is happening? And I will not understand what is happening. Okay. And then I will be in denial. I will start thinking, oh, the scale is not working, or there's a mistake here. Maybe this could be a biological stall, which exists, right? Sometimes our body like don't lose weight and it's a biological stall. I will start telling that to myself for a while. And then there's going to be a point in which maybe I will examine myself and I will notice that my habits are not aligned to the habits that I'm supposed to follow. So maybe I'm overeating. Maybe I'm not tracking. I'm not respecting my portions. And I will be frustrated. And maybe I'm going to be angry. Maybe I'm going to be disappointed. Maybe I will tell myself that the surgery didn't work, etc. And after a while, I will release of all my emotions, and then I will be ready to continue. And maybe I will think, you know what? Maybe I'm in a stall. That's fine, but this doesn't end here. I need to continue. I need to keep moving. And in that moment, we will start again with the test phase. So, for example, I will ask for support. I will go to therapy or work with a coach to manage my emotional eating. Maybe I will join support groups to keep accountable, etc. And then I will be able to manage my emotional eating and I will integrate this phase and I will keep moving forward. So if you notice, when we face challenges and change is always the same. At the beginning, we resist, we're in the denial phase, then we release our emotions, and then we start trying new things. And to me, what is dangerous is that sometimes people get stuck in some parts of this process. And they are stuck for like months. And it would be easier to notice where I am in the process and then go to the next phase and keep moving forward. So, for example, maybe I'm frustrated with my weight today because the number is not moving. Okay, you're frustrated. Release your emotions. What are you going to try? And then keep moving in this curve and move forward instead of being stuck for maybe months. Okay, maybe you are in denial. You think that nothing has worked for you. That's fine. But let's say that hypothetically you are having habits that are not healthy habits. Then what could you do? And you keep moving in this curve and you move to the next phase, the next stage, and you keep advancing. I would like to know, Brenda, if am I being clear and if our attendees are following me, because I want them to create value.
I mean, for myself, Rodolfo, I think this makes perfect sense. It's about being consistent and kind of persistent and then reevaluating, because I think at the end of the day, like for me, that's very helpful. Like what exactly what you're saying is, like at the end of each day, if you kind of look at your day and you say, okay, what went right and what things could I change tomorrow to make my day maybe more how I wanted it to be? If there was some things that didn't, like maybe if you are stuck and you're feeling that way. So Rodolfo, there was a question. There is a lot of comments that they're saying, so on point, yes, clear. This is perfect, very helpful. No, I understand you just fine. The example that you gave fit our question pretty closely, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk
Please.
about what's been
Yes.
said. Yeah, it's Brianna. So what she's saying is, I'm 10 months post-op, lost 96 pounds, and I want to lose more. But I've been on a serious plateau for a few months now. I don't eat bad, and I go to hot yoga every day. It's like my body won't let go anymore of any more weight. So with somebody like that, what would you suggest? Like, where would you say she is with this, where this, with your little graph there, where would you say she might be? And where would you say maybe what would be some recommendations for her?
So yes. Okay. So if we go to the graph, like there's something that Brianna is not able to understand, which is why she's in a stall, right? And I think that what would be important is to figure out what's happening, why she's in a stall, right? And it could be for different reasons. I have been working with my clients and I've noticed that a lot of times they are sabotaging themselves and they are not aware of that. That could be one option. But then there's another option which could be related to medical conditions or maybe change that are needed in their diets. So my advice would be to seek for support, and that support could be a dietitian, a physician, right? Maybe work with a coach to figure out what's happening if it's related to self-sabotage. That's what I would say. But being able to track specifically what you're having, what are your habits, check everything. Because what I've noticed a lot is that some people start changing their habits and they are not aware of that. And for a while, having some habits worked and they were able to lose weight, but then after some time they are in a stall and they are not able to lose weight. So that's what I would like to share with her. So start testing things and keep moving. Like, don't allow yourself to be in that state, because to me what's very frustrating is not knowing what is happening and maybe thinking that you're doing everything perfectly and being wasting your time.
And to Rodolphe, would you care if I added something to that?
Please.
So with whenever I worked at the bariatric, so before I did worked with ProCare Health, our sponsor, I also worked as a bariatric coordinator. I think I mentioned that before. And a lot of times when patients get to about where you are, Brianna, or maybe other patients that are kind of in that right around the anywhere from 6 months to a year, like right around that mark, they get to a place where a lot of times their weight does kind of plateau out or slow down their weight loss, or maybe it's a year, or maybe it's a year and a half. Everybody's a little different. And doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing anything necessarily. It could be that some of those things Rodolfo said, it could be sabotage, it could be a medical condition, it could be a change in your diet. The thing is sometimes it's just that your body is just, it kind of gets to a happy point. It's like, okay, this is where my new set point is. And so if it stays at a point for a period of time and you feel, I don't know how long you've been at that point, you might be able to give us a little indication of that. But if it's been for, a couple, like a month or two, and you feel like it's just not shifting, like Rodolfo said, getting extra help outside of that can sometimes help, because sometimes like you've done all the things that you can do and there's not anything else that you can think of. Sometimes getting outside support of other people helping you can help, because they can maybe give you ideas to come up with changing things up. And sometimes it's little things you may have never ever even thought about. It could be mindset, it could be food and nutrition, it could be physical activity, it could be, who knows, I mean, everybody's different. It could be something medically, it could be, who knows. But I always feel like that those kind of things are helpful. And she does say, thank you, I'll reach out to my nutritionist. I think I need to switch it up food wise. So that was helpful, Rodolfo.
Yeah, I remember that I was working with a client, and she was in a stall and she didn't know why. And first of all, we checked like if she was sticking to her plan 100%, right? And I'm very strict and I do all the follow-up process and understand emotional eating, That was like the beginning. And then she had a meeting with her dietitian, and the dietitian made changes in regards to the fiber that she was having and added some vegetables, etc. And she started losing weight again. So as you say, Brenda, like there could be many factors that are affecting the result, right? So it's important to check everything and start by something, and then start dismissing the causes that could be the root.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like sometimes where we want to be independent and we want to do it on our own. And sometimes, I mean, I don't know about you, Rodolfo. Like, I've always been like, had that personality trait in myself of not wanting to actually ask for outside help. And this last year, I'm just like, you know what? Darn it, I feel like I need some outside help. So I actually, this last year I did go to my primary care doctor, and like I reached out. I'm like, I want to try to make some changes in my own health. I want to make sure like I have all my labs checked. I had everything, went back in, total physical. I haven't had a good physical in a long time. I just thought, I reached out for support, and I haven't done that in a while. Sometimes we have to do that. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. Because other people can see things you may not be seeing. And whether it's your blood pressure, like the little medical things, even. So I'll be quiet. But there are more comments too.
Totally. So are we ready to continue with the presentation?
Let's see here. Let me make sure there's nothing else. It looks like mindset's a big hurdle. And then Dorothy says, okay, she's talking about her medications and how
Mhm.
that's helping her. So everybody's different.
Yes,
So
totally.
yeah,
Totally.
yeah,
That's why
no,
you need to ask for support and like go to your dietitian, your physician, because they will know what's best for you and what are you needing today, right? So I have a question. Why embracing challenges and change is essential? That's the question that I have for our audience. Why embracing challenges and change is essential in our life? Kimberly answered to learn. Excellent. Excellent. So, if we embrace challenge and we go through challenge processes, right, and change processes, then we will develop new skills, right? That's what will happen. Brianna is sharing, it makes you a stronger person. Exactly. Because you will learn, right? Which is aligned with what Kimberly shared. Teresa is sharing to improve, to decide on the direction we are heading, to grow. Okay, perfect. So, to me, embracing challenges as a change is essential because, first of all, life will be full of challenges and change. And if you resist it, you will resist life, right? So, given that you are living your life, why don't you just embrace it and then see the possibilities and the opportunities that are available for you? And then, if you embrace your challenges, then you will face every time bigger challenges and changes. Maybe you will take bigger risks, but that is aligned to bigger results. If you want to reach a specific weight, that's related to an inner work that needs to be done. And in order to be there, you need to do that work. And that work will, of course, come for you with challenges and change. So, my invitation is to start seeing challenge and change as an opportunity to grow, learn, and take your life where you want it to be. If you're in a stall, take action. Explore why you are in a stall, and then keep moving forward. Because if not, you will drain your energy and nothing will change. Okay? So, I would like to share with you some tips to face challenges and change and be effective in the process. The first one is related to learning and being clear with your why. What do I mean with this? Imagine the following. I would like to add movement to my life, and I make a commitment, and my commitment is to work out 4 days a week. Okay? And it's winter. I wake up a Sunday morning and I'm supposed to go out for a walk. And that day, the temperatures are very, very low. Okay? So it's likely that in that moment, I will start negotiating with myself and maybe postpone my workout and my movement routine. And maybe I will say, you know what, next week I will continue. And I will not take it with the importance that is needed. To me, having a clear why is the motivation that in those moments will make you stick to your plan, commit, and keep moving. If you understand that you are moving your body because for you is important and you want to be connected to your body and you would like to feel that you are a person with energy, that you would like to feel good, and you understand the impact of movement in, for example, your self esteem and your mood, if you're connected to that and that's your focus, that morning you will wake up and you will go out. And that will be your motivation and your encouragement. If you're just focusing on the results or you're focusing just on the actions, then they will lose the value. And of course, working out a day that is snowing is not attractive, right? So the tendency to delay it or procrastinate will be high. So to me, what is important is to focus on your goals. You started your bariatric journey. What were your motivations? What are your motivations today? Why that will make you today motivated and get motivated to break your stall? That's the power that we would like to connect to. Um, and this is interesting because I run a cohort in Varination, which is a support group for bariatric patients, and the cohort is called Being Me in 2023. So we talk a lot about the importance of being and focusing on our why. And instead of thinking just about actions, thinking about the person that we want to turn into. So, for example, if I would like to tame emotional eating, I should focus on be aware and being connected to my body and listening to my body and listening to my needs and satisfy those needs. As a consequence of that connection, then I will be able to tame emotional eating and distinguishing what I'm needing and why I'm experiencing some emotions in particular. But everything starts from the why. Everything starts from the person that you are. So if you want to be aware, right, then that will help you to accomplish your maybe goal related to having a balanced relationship with food. If you want to feel agile, then you will commit to your movement routine. If you, for example, are empowered, then you will start your business. But everything starts with who we are, which is something that we don't consider. Okay? Then, another thing that will be powerful for you if you want to face your challenges is to connect to the perception that you have of challenges and understand the fears that could emerge. As I told you at the beginning of the class, when we face challenges, we experience fear, right? And some self defense mechanisms are triggered. And it's important to be able in the process to manage our fears. So, the first step that I recommend is to identify how fear manifests in your body. What do I mean with this? For example, imagine that you have a plan that you need to follow and you would like to stick to that plan. Okay? And then someone invites you to go out, you go to a dinner, and in that dinner, somebody offers you something that is not included in your plan. And maybe in that moment, when someone offers you that, you don't know how to say no. And maybe you feel very insecure in that moment and you start experiencing like a pressure over your chest. So when I say identify how fear manifests in you, it's like being aware of those fears. Maybe in that moment you're experiencing a fear, which is a fear of rejection. And that fear manifests as oppression over your chest. And in that moment, you get paralyzed and you don't know how to say no. So, first, identify how fear manifests in your body, then identify your fear. In the case of the example, maybe it's a fear of rejection, right? Then discover your deepest fears. You know what? If I say no, I feel that I will not belong. I feel that then they will not invite me after. I will feel that I will lose my friend. And then, given that you have that fear, create an action plan. So, for example, if I have the fear of lose a person, right, what I can do is have a deep conversation with this person, explain the process that I'm going through, and explain this person that maybe it's not necessary for me to eat what they are eating, that it's okay for me to be in this dinner and just share. But with that, you are taking action and you're managing the emotion instead of allowing your emotions to take over and get paralyzed and maybe experiencing this fear of rejection, this pain over your chest, and not being able to say no and set a boundary. So transform your perception. Transform your perception. Be aware of your fears. Okay. Am I being clear with this point, Brenda?
I'm unmuting myself. Yes, yes. I mean, perception is everything. It's how we look at our world, and um, if you can change your perception, you can change that world. You can change, and actually, it only takes it only takes a second to do that. I mean, sometimes we think, especially when you're feeling really scared or feeling fearful or whatever. Sometimes just taking a couple deep breaths and just kind of pivoting and knowing that you can change, it gives you a little hope, a little hope and a little faith to pivot and move, because then you're not stuck anymore.
Totally.
Say your biggest, whatever that fear is, say it's that you can't change. Like some of these people, maybe they're scared that they have regain, and they feel like they can't change and that their weight's going to change. They're going to stay the same, or they're going to keep gaining. That's a fear. You identify it, you take a deep breath, you pivot, and you say, I have faith that there are solutions. I may not see them right now, but I have faith, and I know that I'm gonna keep moving forward, and I'm gonna know that there are things that may be able to come my way. So I see what you're saying. See if there's
Yeah, I would
any.
like. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no.
No, go
Keep-
ahead. Go ahead. I think
no,
there's other
I,
comments too.
I wanted to share another example, which I've seen a lot in the last time, which is people, for example, having fear of failure or failing. And as they have this fear, for example, they procrastinate and they postpone starting, and they tell themselves that they can start next Monday, right? So instead of taking action, they get paralyzed. And given that they are not moving forward, they are creating their fear in their life and they are failing, actually, right? Because at the end, they are not moving forward. So they are proving themselves that they can't move. So if you are paralyzed today, if you're scared, if you have fear of failure, if you have fear of rejection, identify how this feeling manifests in your body, understand the roots of your fear, and then take action. Create a plan to manage the fear and take action. You know what? This week I will try to stick to this diet 100%, and if it doesn't work out, this is my plan. I will go to a dietitian. And if the dietitian doesn't work, I will go to a physician. But with that, you will feel in control instead of allowing just your fear to emerge and you getting paralyzed.
For me, I feel like what you just said resonates, because sometimes I think it's about having a little bit of control, like knowing that there's always a plan B, knowing that you can, if something doesn't work out, there's always another choice. There's always something else you can do to kind of keep moving forward. You can always think. And sometimes I think the momentum comes from just a starting point. Like, in order to get the ball rolling, you have to start somewhere.
100%. 100%. So the invitation is to start. manage the fear, right? And identify how this fear manifests in the body, actually. Yes. So, Brenda, I would like to share something special. Can I?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it looks like there's a whole sidebar before you say that, Rodolfo. There's a whole sidebar going on about rejection.
Give me 1 second. Oh, a sidebar. Oh, which means that there are comments.
There's a lot of comments here. They're talking about rejection, about feeling rejected, and there's a whole sidebar conversation about that.
That's one of the biggest fears that I work
Mhm.
with my clients. Like the fear of
Mhm.
rejection, the fear of communicating my needs and being judged, the fear of setting boundaries. Like, what would happen if I pay attention to my needs and I neglect other people's needs? That's one of the topics that I always have to work with people, because I think that, and this is my interpretation, but I feel that in the bariatric community, people learned, right, in the past to neglect their needs, and given that, maybe taking care of other people's needs. And I think that this surgery pushes the person to put themselves in the first place and start paying attention to their needs and track the food and prepare their meals and meeting the daily water goals, right? So there needs to be a change there in terms of how they perceive themselves and they perceive on others and how they prioritize themselves.
Thank you, Rodolfo, for saying that. I appreciate it. I appreciate you pausing for a moment and hitting on that. Yes, but go forward because I want to hear what you're next. Because we're right at now. We got about 7 minutes before the end of the hour, and I want to hit on what you were getting ready to share because I'm excited about this.
Yeah. Okay. So I have an invitation. I have a challenge, which is a 4-day challenge. And this challenge is called Optimize Your Mindset. During this workshop, we have been discussing different limiting thoughts that people have that paralyze them. Okay? That could be, for example, people will reject me, I will fail, I'm not worth it, I'm not good enough, right? And at the end, those thoughts produce that we experience emotions such as anxiety, insecurities, fears, and then we get paralyzed. So if today you are paralyzed, I have an opportunity for you, which is the following. I have a challenge, which is a 4-day challenges, in which you will discover your limiting thoughts, and I will share with you tools to start removing those limiting thoughts. So, for example, if you're telling yourself, I'm not important, or others will reject me, I will help you to discover those thoughts and then add new ones. And with that, you will be able to manage your emotions and your fears. The challenge consists on videos that you will receive for 4 days and really short assignments, which like you have to answer, reply, and I will give you feedback. If you are interested in joining the challenge, I just will ask you to DM me the word mindset. There was a mistake in the slide, but the word mindset, and I will send you the first video of the challenge, and you will be able to start. I will share with you by the chat my Instagram account, which is Rodolfo Alvarez X. If you send me a DM with the word mindset, I will give you access to the first video. And I would love to encourage you to like join the challenge, because in that challenge you will learn about your limiting thoughts. And some of these thoughts sometimes operate unconsciously. We are not aware of them, and they are blocking us and limiting us. So this is a great opportunity. So you just need to go to my Instagram account, which is Rodolfo Alvarez X. And as I told you, send me a DM with the word mindset, and I will give you access to the first video. You can find me on Instagram, or you can find me on Facebook too. I typically use Instagram, and actually, I added the link of my Instagram account to the chat. So you just need to click the link, and you will be redirected to my account, and you will be able to send me the message with the word mindset. And I'll be glad to send you the first video. Yes.
Rodolfo, there's probably no one on this call, but in case there is that doesn't have Facebook or doesn't have Instagram, can they email you?
Yes, they can. They can. Actually, I can write my email on the chat.
I think I have it. Let me make sure I have the right one here. I have R Alvarez T
That
Gmail.
works, and I have another one, which is a new
Okay.
one, which is contact at
Oh,
rodolfoalvarez.com. Yes.
okay.
So
Should I delete this other comment so that they have the
yes,
correct one?
yes. But typically, like if they like send me the
I'll delete
DM,
it.
that's the easiest thing to do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a little exercise that I would like to do before closing this workshop, which is a great exercise. Okay. So I want you to look at a picture and please tell me and write by the chat what you are observing in the picture. In terms of the landscape, what are you observing? This is our last activity of this workshop. And Brenda, if you want, you can answer too. Amy saying a desert. Okay. Julie shared an endless path. Lucille wrote valley desert. Peaceful desert. A clear sky, nice open relaxing space. Mounds of dirt leading to different paths. Okay. Where are we going? A lonely journey. Okay, so we have different interpretations. Okay, all of you actually are having different interpretations of that picture, right? And I would like to share that years ago there was a person walking in a desert similar to that one, and this person visualized there a city and a huge opportunity to make money. And that person developed a city called Las Vegas. So, why I'm doing this and I'm sharing this example? Because I think that in terms of challenges and change, you can build your own perception. And what are you going to watch or see or perceive? Will you perceive a desert? A desert, sorry. Or will you perceive a city that is a possibility of development, that is a like mine full of money? And you have the choice to choose whatever you want. So if today you're facing challenges and you are facing change and you're stuck, my invitation for you will be to add a powerful interpretation, because you can make the interpretation that you want and you can create opportunities, or you can get stuck and think that what is going on is the worst that could happen. I wanted to close the workshop with that exercise. So, Brenda, I would like to say that that's my Instagram account, Rodolfo Alvarez X. So, if they want to follow me, they can. And I'll be glad to keep in touch. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, I think it was a great summary. From what I got out of it, Rodolfo, we need to really focus on like where we're at, where we're thinking, and just know that be consistent, be persistent. Know that you can always kind of pivot and change, and have hope that you can that you're never really stuck. That's a perception. You can always keep going, move. If you need support, get support. Um, that's what I got out of it. So I'm very thankful that you're here with us. It looks like there's other people saying the same. So no, thank you. I mean, it was really helpful. Um, so for those of you guys too, if anybody does have any questions, please feel free to make any comments if you do have anything. And at the end here, we always kind of just share too about our sponsors. Do you care? Do you care if I do a little blurb about that? Then Rodolfo here.
Of course. I'm excited to learn. So, what do you have today to tell us? What do you like to share with us today, Brenda?
I don't really have too much new things, but I just want to say for those of you guys, I think some of these people probably know about ProCare Health. So ProCare Health is a bariatric multivitamin company, and they're best known for their bariatric multivitamins. Being probably most popular product is our one a day with 45 of iron capsules. We also have a chewable formula. And then we also have a chew formula. Those are some of our most popular products. We're also known for being one of the lowest in cost on the market as far as multivitamins, like probably the lowest, if not the lowest. Never know. There's another company might sneak one in on us, but $11.99 is the going rate for a month's supply. And if you do a subscription, and then we also have all different kinds of calcium, and our calcium is known to be really smooth because we use a product called TrueCal, which is different from a lot of the products out there that use calcium citrate and carbonate, which kind of like rock crystals. So you don't have that kind of calcium aftertaste. So we have lots of different flavors. We have a mocktails flavor. Without bringing my cameras over, we have sea salted caramel, dinner mint, and cinnamon roll. And I'm just going to do a really, really very quick little screen share here and go to the ProCare website for those people who have not seen that before. It's just procarenow.com. I'll copy it and I'll paste it in our chat box so that you guys can have full access to it. Products are all listed right here. Give you a little overview. Bariatric multivitamins, our calcium supplements. Somebody mentioned our proteins. Yes, we do have. We have chocolate and vanilla. Those are really fun things to try. We have all different other kinds of supplements that we're just keep adding new things, and they're all here under listed under vitamins and minerals. So like if you're looking for something specific that's not listed under any of the other categories, jump under here or extras. But we've kind of been adding extra little things under here. All these other little buttons here under About Us. We also offer these. Tonight's a support group, so you'll find we do a lot of support groups and weekly live events. We have all of our handouts for those under this. If you guys haven't already followed us on our forum, which is the Crowdcast forum, if you get on here and you click Crowdcast, if you click that, there should be, as you go to Crowdcast, there should be a follow button, and you just click the follow button, follow us. You'll get notifications of these events as they continue to happen. Rodolfo is going to be with us and continue on. I wanted to also say, Rodolfo, can I share what we're going to be coming up? I'm going to share that if he'll let me. Are you going to let?
Please.
Okay, yes. I'm going to share that.
Yeah, go.
Please. Okay, I'm going to, before I jump off the ProCare side, I also want to say that we also offer free samples. So if you've not tried ProCare, jump on here and get a free sample shipped to your house. Short little, tiny little form you fill out, and we'll send you a free sample to your house. So I'm going to stop sharing there, and I'll put in the chat box this, and then we're going to talk just for a second about what we have in the plans coming up. Right?
Please. Actually,
it goes along with this. Yes.
If you want, I can share the link.
Yes. Go get that while I'm talking about it. Okay. Okay. So Rodolfo and I, mostly Rodolfo, I'm just here for support, but we're doing a 5-day challenge in the month of February. It's the 13th through the 15th, I think, something like that.
No, it's 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, Monday through Friday.
Okay. And it's completely free. All you got to do is register. He's sending you the link for that. So you got 2 challenges. The 4-day, the challenge that he just sent you at the beginning of this, like go back up in the chat, sign up for that one through his DM. Like you just have to send him a personal message on Facebook or Instagram. This one here is on Instagram. It's a Eventbrite, just free, and this one here is in February, and you'll have access to a Facebook group, and then also we'll be doing those by Zoom each day, but they'll be recorded. So he's got all kinds of fun challenges. So I'm excited that we'll be doing that too as well.
Yeah, and I'm excited because lots of comments today were about emotional eating and emotions that they were
Yes.
struggling with. So that challenge is a 5-day challenge in which I will teach you a technique to manage emotional eating. That's the purpose of the challenge. And why is a challenge of 5 days? Because every day you will learn new tools and we would like you to put those tools in practice. So if something is not working, which will happen because this is challenging, right? Then I will give you feedback and you which will be able to redesign yourself. So if you're interested in the Taming Emotional Eating challenge, you can just click on the event that we posted on the chat on Eventbrite. And if you are interested in the 4-day challenge to remove your limiting thoughts, which is just short videos, you can send me the DM with the word mindset to my Instagram account. And that's it. That's what we have for you today in terms of challenges.
Kinds of good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, and it looks like, see, there's a few other comments. I'm going back. A lot of people are saying this was helpful. Thanks for the support. Oh, Amanda got some samples from us, so thank you. And Dorothy says she likes the chewable and the protein mix. Yes.
Good.
Angela says ProCare is the only company I found not to have soy in their vitamins. Important for this soy allergies. Yes, I understand. You gotta watch that with the old soy. And then so Rodolfo has the links. So we're all set. So if you guys have any questions, I'm gonna also write my email here at the end in case anybody needs any follow-up, whether it be in the present moment. I'm gonna be away from my desk the rest of the evening, but I will be watching my email. My husband's messaged me. He's got us a date at a restaurant. So we're gonna go out and eat tonight.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yes,
Okay.
me too. Me too. So we're going out to eat, but my email, send me a message if you have any questions. And thank you. She said enjoy. I will reply back, and Rodolfo, obviously, I can, if I can't answer it, Rodolfo, I can always have him coordinate with me. Me and him, we're always sending messages back and forth. So I will, oh, it looks like somebody's already registered. So that's great.
Yeah, actually, I can give you updates. It seems that 3 people registered. So
Oh, for which event? For the 4-day or 5-day?
for the Taming Emotional Eating, yeah, and others people send me
Okay.
messages too. So I will reply you in a while. Yes, I
Okay.
will reply all your messages. So thanks
So
for
whether
that.
it be the 4-day or the 5-day, register for both, guys. It doesn't hurt
Yeah.
anything. Doesn't hurt a thing. I mean, these are free. Robin's asking who's tried the Liquicell. That's some good stuff too. Also try, if you haven't tried the Liquicell, get on the Liquicell. So we're a third-party vendor for Liquicell. Get on the Liquicell website. There's tons of recipes on there too. So it's kind of fun because you can play around with Liquicell with a lot of different things. It's a liquid protein. Angela says, I'm going to have to register 5-day. I have to create just create an Instagram account. Angela, if you can't, just send Rodolfo a message through his email. It's up in the chat box a little further.
Right.
It was contact at Rodolfo if you don't have an Instagram, but he will respond back either way. Okay, guys. Well, we're going to hop off here. We're thanking you for today. We appreciate it, Rodolfo. We're right at 10 after. I know you have another meeting, so we're gonna cut it. So, guys, have a great evening.
I will see you soon. So yeah.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.